Good morning, everyone. This is Kelly Coulter, and I'm here with Cortney Schultz with HR, and we're here to talk about one of our most recent lean initiatives in relation to the top-up of sick bank. So I'm going to turn it over to Cortney to describe what the problem was.
Good morning. I'm here to talk to you today about the item that was identified via the payroll review. We were on a mission to improve our current sick process flow for reduced sick time, in which can result in reduced pay. So we wanted to improve the process so that it was consistent and standard for all employees for when, if and when they receive a reduced pay due to illness.
Okay.
So we reviewed the process of our sick time, and it was evident in the payroll department where in the flow they wanted to enhance the process.
Okay.
So that was the communication piece from employees to determine how they wish to top up their pay when this scenario may happen to them.
Right.
So payroll identified quite easily, as it was evident that the communication from when they're off, the time for which payroll were to request from the manager, and then the manager to the employee if they would like topped up, and when they would like topped up in terms of how to utilize the banks.
Okay.
So payroll identified saying if we could standardize that process, then it would be clear to the employee that they are aware, and they also know what banks will be reduced. So we are requiring a sign-off in terms of providing consent to utilize entitlement banks in the order of bank time, stat time, and vacation time. So in that order, banks that are applicable to the employee whom is off sick that is resulting in a pay that is reduced from whole. So the process being that if the employee has provided consent, the payroll team does not need to communicate with the manager and employee, especially since it's typically at a time where the employee doesn't want to have communication with the payroll department because they are essentially off sick. So it's a nice, clean, simple process that we're hoping will benefit the employee as well as the payroll team.
Okay. So how did the team find the solution? What did you do to figure out that this is a simple solution for all employees regardless of where they work?
So the payroll team, once this item was brought up to them via the payroll review, they said, we know exactly where in this process we have a delay.
Okay.
So not only will it reduce the time invested in trying to communicate at the last minute when payroll is processing, which we are already under deadlines, trying to communicate with an employee who is off sick. They identified that as being the item in the process that is broken, and so it was interrupting the flow by far.
Okay.
So the team said, we know exactly how we can improve the sick flow, and therefore they said if we can have a standardized, everybody's on board and aware prior to it happening, that it will benefit the employee and the employer, the payroll team. As well, it also benefits the benefits specialist, because from an owner's perspective, if you keep your pay whole, it reduces the need to offer that disability elimination piece from an owner's perspective. So the employee is truly advantaged and benefited in this process, because once they have returned to work, or if they haven't and it's year end now, they're going to be offered to purchase that time because their pay was not kept whole.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually reducing time from our end, from payroll and benefits, as well as, I think, benefit the employee from keeping their pay whole and having to do a purchase later.
Right. So there's no stressor to the employee at a time when they already have lots of stress in their life. Very good. And from your perspective, what makes this lean and add value to the organization?
So I think I maybe just kind of already stumbled around that, but I do believe that It is very lean because we took the opportunity from hearing and listening to what the concern was from the outside, well, not the outside, but the outside, the
Right.
managers and the employees. And we said, well, we already feel from this side that this process is broken, so how can we lean it and improve that flow?
Right.
Well, we already have an idea, and we already know how we want to improve that.
For sure.
So it was very evident that we could lean that process, and we knew exactly how we were going to. And with the support of yourself and SMT, we felt like there was really no reason why we wouldn't want to do this.
For sure.
So that was lean right from the beginning, because we were taking steps out of the process that didn't provide any value.
Okay, all right. And not only for yourself, but for the larger team, what did you learn from going through the process and finding the solution?
Yeah, this was the exciting part for us, because we learned that with lean in our organization, we were provided the opportunity to experiment with a new process. And it was exciting for us because when we said, oh, we're hearing that we are requesting to produce an improved process
Right.
from the manager's employees, it was like, oh, well, we know, we have an idea already. So it provided us the avenue to improve the flow and experiment
Very
with
nice.
an idea that already was kind of residing
Right.
in payroll. So it allowed us to not be afraid to say, well, actually, we have an idea that we would like to implement
Yeah, very cool.
to help standardize and be
Right.
more consistent.
Yeah, the joy of experimenting.
Exactly.
Very good.
So it gave us that opportunity.
Very cool. And just before we finish up, can you take us through your board that's
Sure.
here?
We basically dissected the entire payroll review, and this has been ongoing actually over the course of a couple of years, believe it or not. And we've delegated every task in the payroll review to a payroll, our HR team member.
Okay,
And so we assigned those tasks and we prioritized them.
very good.
And so as we're working on them, they move from the doing to the pending to the done.
Okay.
And here's the sick one that we can now say
Very
is done.
nice. Celebration?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I will say that we are looking to provide communication around this soon, because we will be doing an implementation date of January.
Okay, very good.
So it'll be in a fresh year.
Yeah, very nice. It's nice to see, because sometimes I think we all get a little bit overwhelmed when it takes a long time to find solutions, and it's nice that the team persevered over a long period of time, really, to find some solutions to the payroll side of things.
Absolutely.
Very good. Wow. Nice board. And the different colored Post-its, what do they represent? The blue and the green and then the yellow?
So when we actually dissected the review, we did a listing on what items were priority and what items were kind of going to be a slower ongoing process, because
Right.
they were already part of our strat plan for a coming year or a coming project or initiative that we had planned.
Okay.
So it was kind of, hang on, these are kind of ongoing and we're working towards that. We can't complete them all at once.
Right.
So we identified them in those lists as priority and kind of ongoing. So the
Okay.
green stickies are representing the priority items,
Right.
and then the blue stickies are representing items that are kind of always ongoing. For an example, SOP creations.
Right.
So they're ongoing. We needed to bite the bullet and bring us up to speed, but they're always going to be ongoing.
Right. Very cool. Wow. Thank you very much, Courtney. This was very, very informative. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay.